Today's show is brought to you by FlexJobs. At FlexJobs, you can find flexible work at home, real jobs available in a host of different fields that you can apply for. Now, to get access to the application, you have to create an account, but it has jobs in HR, recruiting, graphic design, bilingual positions, sales. There's lots of different categories of positions that are available. So use the link in the show notes, go to FlexJobs, and see what they have for you for flexible work. And with that, we'll be back in just one moment. Episode 2098 of the #1 podcast on Apple Podcasts and Job Search. You are listening to No BS Job Search Advice Radio. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. This is a continuation of the series I've been doing about preparing to job search, and something everyone should be doing at the beginning of their search. And if you didn't do this, this is something you can do at any time because it will help you throughout the process stay focused on what's important. Hope you find this helpful. Hope you give it an honest review wherever you listen to the show. And I hope you have a great weekend. And we'll be back in just one moment. Today's show is brought to you by JobScan. JobScan is a site where, frankly, they take some of the issues with the black hole, the applicant tracking system, and really help you fix your resume so that it's able to get through the system. Now, the way it was started out is there was a job hunter named James who was running into problems getting his resume through the applicant tracking systems because he found that they were parsing, ranking, and filtering resumes with algorithms. So what he did was develop a system that helps you figure out how your resume matches up against specific jobs and makes recommendations for how to tweak it to make it get through the systems. Not 100% perfect, but much, much better than what most people get. So use the link in the show notes. You will get better results with your resume when you submit it through the ATS. Now, we'll be back in just one moment. To talk with you about the best question you should ask yourself before you begin your job search. The thing that you need to really pay attention to throughout your job search. So let me just dive right into it and say, most people begin a job search and there's only one question on their mind. I need a job. How am I going to find it? And that's a good question, but it works with the assumption of desperation. Frankly, most of you don't need to be desperate. And I understand that you may be scared or worried or frightened about this entire thing. What's going on? Where am I going to find work? All these sort of self-doubts show up when you begin a job search. But let's work from a different perspective. Let's work from the place of, I'm going to have choices to make. Now, you may not, quite obviously, but I'd like you to start off at least getting clear about this one question. Ready? The question is, what's most important to you in your next job or organization? What will you need to see or hear to believe it's the right place for you to join? Now, you may have a lot of different answers from this. That's terrific. I want you to take an hour, 40 minutes, whatever amount of time you feel comfortable. You can always add to the list. But the idea is to ask yourself, what's most important to you in your next job or organization? What will you need to see or hear to believe it's the right place for you to join? Now, that's question number one. Now, here's the follow-up question. That's not a question, but the follow-up task to this is, I want you to prioritize your answer. Why is this important? Real simple. From the time you begin your job search to the time that you get your offer or multiple offers, you're going to go through the ping-ponging that goes on in most job searches. You're going to get confused. People are going to say a whole bunch of stuff to you that's going to deal with their interests, but you have to always remember yours. Let's go back to the situation where you have multiple offers, and everyone is talking about why their job is the best for you.
but they don't know you. They basically are trying to persuade you, hypnotize you. It's a very subtle form of coercion into accepting their offer. Having this list gives you something to revert to, go back to, and just basically use as an evaluation criteria. Now, no firm may hit all the items on your list, or may wind up looking perfect based upon your list, but it's still a reminder for you. It still affords you a grounding place for you to evaluate and assess different alternatives. This is Jeff Altman.
So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, I've got a lot that's in the show notes that will help you. Go there, take a look at some of the things I highlight. I know it can help you with your search. But I want you to do one thing for me, and that is put in your phone thebiggamehunter.us, Jeff Altman, my name. And when you need help, when you need advice, when you have a question, come over to the website, go exploring in the blog, contact me for coaching or because you have a question. I'd love to help you. In the meantime, I hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great! Support for today's show comes from Grammarly. Grammarly has a free version that you can get as a Chrome extension, or there's a premium version that provides a lot more. Now, the Chrome extension is terrific. I used it for a couple of years, and it's only when I started writing books again that I started to look at upgrading to the paid version of the product, which is $100 for a year, if I recall correctly. Now, it works with almost everything, and it will help you with your writing. And frankly, from having read resumes for years, most of you don't write as well as you think you do. And one thing I discovered along the way is the use of commas has changed from the time I was doing a lot of writing until now. Grammarly will help you fix it easily. So again, use the link in the show notes and download the Chrome extension, or consider buying the premium version. Whichever way you go, you can't go wrong.